sport to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Now, as you guys know, I love Kyrie. I think he's a great human being. I've always had my questions about, does he really want to leave it all on the court in the traditional ways that we see athletes, or on the, leave it all to get a championship and lead a team and lead a franchise? I've always had those questions about Kyrie. He's a great player. And when he sets his mind to it, he can do damn near everything he wants. But there's always been a question about his durability.
I'll say.
When his head ain't in the game, is he going to even show up to work?
Yep.
And then obviously you get hit with this COVID situation that we just went through, and where he had his right to be like, listen, I'm not getting the vaccine. He had the luxury of being one of the greatest players to ever play basketball, skill-wise, to be like, listen, I'm not getting vaxxed. And the team held in there, and then they came back for how many games they ended up playing last year?
29.
They got to the playoffs and got trounced.
I mean, different kind of trounce.
Exposed. Also remember, KD and Kyrie picked their head coach.
Well, go back further than that. They had Kenny Atkinson run out of town. Remember Atkinson had that young Nets team scrapping?
Yeah, and
he really got
rid of that guy.
They were like,
right.
nah, we don't want him. Bring in Steve Nash.
Because they wanted a head coach that they could control. And see what that got you last year. But once again, they didn't play a lot of games together. But now Kyrie hits the market to see if he could get to another team. Other teams was like, fam, you want to come to these teams, you're going to have to prove that you're going to show up on a regular, or at least commit to it. So he ends up taking his deal that he had on the table with a lot of incentives and a lot of money. What is it? $36 million. And he's on the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn.
After all of that, you're back with Brooklyn, Kyrie.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Now, what tone do you think that sent to the team? ESPN's own Rosenberg.
Which
after
team?
Him, the Brooklyn Nets?
The players or the organization?
Both. Of him putting up this list of teams he would prefer to go to because he wasn't happy with Brooklyn, and then found out that really there wasn't much out there for him, so he went back to Brooklyn.
I can't even pretend to know that I have any idea what the other teammates think about all of this, but I know upper management, they finally hit enough. They kind of, you could tell by the things they were saying and what was getting out that the Nets had decided, hey man, we played along with you for a very long time. We stood next to you publicly for a very long time. Now you're putting out a list of other places you want to go? Hey, we're willing to part ways too. Whatever it is. Let's just figure it out. Kyrie tested the market, ends up deciding to opt in, take the $36 million. KD says, oh, okay, Kyrie's staying? I'm staying. And Nets fans went from, we're about to completely start a rebuild, to, hey, let's give it a crack one more time with two of the best players in the world. Why
and let's
not?
see if Ben Simmons could pull his head together.
Exactly. And then what if they all show up? And by the way, this is the last year of Kyrie's deal. So if he wants one more max contract, Kyrie has to play.
Does he pull an Aaron Judge? He's betting on himself and he plays 84 games and they go to...
And listen, I doubt it.
There's no evidence to suggest that would be possible or it would happen.
But that's what you dream of if you're a Nets fan. So I don't know what the teammates and team think about it. I just know how it looks to the outside.
Well, this is what Stephen A. of ESPN had to say.
Did you see it? I saw the news. I know you saw the news. Oh, Kyrie Irving, you opted in after all. Took that money, didn't you? 1 year deal, y'all. 1 year, $36.9 million. Exercises his player option. So what does that mean? To y'all, it means Kyrie's going to be a Brooklyn Net. You know what it means to me? I guess he's a peon too, huh?
Uh-oh.
So you got to go to work. You got to show up to work. You actually got to go to work. You got to go up there and earn that money. You got to show up to work. Because even if you plan on leaving the Brooklyn Nets, because we all know that Kyrie doesn't plan on staying in Brooklyn for the full year, he's offended, he's appalled, he's put back by the fact that the Brooklyn Nets actually said you have to show up to earn your money. We know that offends him. We know that offends him.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's what Stephen A. just gave Kyrie. Kyrie fired back Laura Stiles, something about his uncles, and men who over 50 don't talk like this, et cetera, et cetera. What
Well, I want me to read it. It's a strange statement. I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world.
He put it on Twitter or something? Or?
Yeah, he tweeted it.
Yeah, he tweeted it, and Stephen A. retweeted and responded. So Kyrie said, Stephen A. Smith, you're going to have to explain yourself to people in your generation. I'm not around many 50-plus-year-olds that speak and act like you do, so this is new for me. But I'm sure my father and my uncles can meet you on your level better than I can. We know you, Steven, in all caps. I know.
Are they saying that his dad is going to fight? Is that what he's saying? They're going to put hands on Stephen A? Is that
What?
I don't know. Steven responds and says, yo, you got it twisted, bro. Big
That's
time.
not what he's saying, right?
No, that's not.
It sounds...
I'm going to get my dad to fight you?
It crossed my mind. Did it cross your mind, Laura?
I thought about it, too.
It crossed my mind.
what are we talking
My
about?
uncles will understand it better on your level. They know you. We know you, Steven.
Maybe they know personal stuff about him.
Well,
Well, he
Stephen
knows
A.
Rod Strickland. Isn't that Kyrie's uncle, too?
I didn't know this until yesterday, but Stephen A. says, oh, you got it twisted, bro. I don't have to explain a damn thing to anyone, especially you and your father. Your uncle, Rod Strickland, is another matter. I love that brother, and I profoundly respect him always. By the way, I love how Stephen A. that part is. In the middle of beefing with someone, he'll stop and be like, I love that brother, Rod Strickland. Now back to you. I just love that. And then he says, as for you, when you have a level, let me know, because I'm not aware you have one off the court. Either way, I have a wish. One day you'll stop hiding behind the public support you receive and fess up to the shenanigans you engage in, leaving folks hanging like laundry. Be honest about what you've truly been doing. Until then, let's confront one another one-on-one for the world to see. Your truth up against mine in a public forum for everyone to
Stephen
judge.
A. working that interview.
Name the time and place, and I'll show up. I keep receipts, bro.
Okay. Spicy.
Now, the peon thing comes from Kyrie. Kyrie called, I think, Stephen A. that. And this was during COVID.
He referred to, I think, the media in general
as
that.
peons.
Yeah.
And they work for people and all of these things. Right. Which people love to do during the COVID situation of people who had to choose, like, I have a job to keep, I have a family to take, I have bills to pay. Right. You know what I'm saying? And there were people out there who was like, you're peons, you guys work for corporations, you should do, you know what I mean? Kyrie, clear to Stephen A.'s point, which is what I think triggered Kyrie, you got a contract, you got to show up if you want that money, and they're going to hold you to it.
And I think
So who's really the peon? Everybody's
Right.
working for somebody.
Exactly, for the most part, in some way, somehow.
I think there's this thing that's been going on with Stephen A. that I've been noticing on Black Twitter, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
This, pardon the expression because it's offensive, this sort of Uncle Tom attack people have been making on Stephen A. Right?
But that started with the Kaepernick stuff too.
Started there. No, they
Yeah.
have a thing to grab onto, and then when he says this kind of stuff, they act as if Stephen A. he's defending corporations.
But he is though.
But he's really just defending people who have to go to work every day.
That's
'cause
how
what
I
he
take
does.
it. That's
Stephen
how I
A.
take it.
Stephen
Right,
A. is
but
rich,
remember-
but he works his ass off.
He works
and
very
he respects
hard.
hard
But when
work.
you're the face of a corporation, which he's the face of ESPN, which is owned by Disney, one of the biggest corporations, that's what happens. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to people that are big.
You mean you're going to get labeled that way?
Yes, because you are working for a corporation and you're the face of it, so you automatically get tagged with towing the line. That's just what it is.
But
bro.
why do here's my question. What's wrong? Like,
Especially when you're in charge of something.
but like Kyrie and Stephen A. are not different. They're both really big name front facing talent.
But Kyrie does what he wants to do.
Okay, well,
he
this
shows
year-
up to work when he wants to. He takes off when he wants to.
And does-
he plays when he wants
and
to.
to Stephen A.'s point, not this year.
Exactly.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Now you got to just show up to work.
Well, and even more so, because you're in the last year of your contract, and because the narrative around Kyrie, whether you say it's true or not, because I still say the COVID thing should not be such a asterisk on Kyrie. The real asterisks go back to his behavior in Boston. If you want to go all the way back to college, he only played 11 games for Duke before he went pro. If you want to go back and look at how many games he's actually played in a season, the COVID thing is so rare.
The 2020 taking off 20 games for social justice because he was stressed out. That was
Like those things, a team that's investing millions in a contract gonna be like, now, fam, you want us to give you the max what? For how much time? And you may just decide you're not going to come to work. There's evidence prior to COVID.
Right.
Where you will do something or decide to take action against something where it involves you not coming to work.
And by the way, that's all part of the reputation. I don't think people base it all on the COVID thing.
I think that's the more recent history thing.
It is the more recent thing, and he missed a lot of games because of it, but there's way more prior to that.
Is the 36 million based on how many games he misses? If he misses any, does he get less?
No, he lost money when he missed games.
Last year.
Last year.
This year,
but this year,
when
no.
Stephen A says you have to show up to work this year, he's getting the $36 million regardless of what he plays this year, but it's his last year of his deal, and Kyrie's a young man. So if you want to get your next contract for $200 million, no team's giving it to you unless you show up.
And they're not giving it to you over multiple years. They might go, listen, we'll pay you this year, but we're not giving you an extended deal because there's no guarantee that you're going to be available.
Right, we don't trust you.
If he wants to extend his career.
But listen, if Kyrie does, for the record, Kyrie has bleep you, bleep off, and go bleep yourself money. He's rich.
Yeah.
If Kyrie says, I'm going to play this 1 year and retire,
Right.
bro, all the power in the world.
That's what it sounds like. He's not really stressing the check.
But if you decide you want to keep getting this money, to Stephen A's
gotta
point,
show
you're
up.
just like us. You got to show up to work.
You played yourself.
You know what I mean?